Driftmark is a prominent island located in Blackwater Bay, situated to the west of Dragonstone. Known for being the seat of House Velaryon, Driftmark has a strategic location in the Crown Lands and is the largest island in Blackwater Bay. Its low-lying, fertile lands are enriched by the driftwood carried by the tides, giving the island its name. Although the exact proximity of Driftmark and Dragonstone is unclear, it is possible to view both islands when sailing between them. The island is home to several key settlements, including the castles of Driftmark and High Tide, the towns of Hull and Spicetown, and notable shipyards. Early history and settlement by House Velaryon. Driftmark was initially settled by House Velaryon long before the arrival of House Targaryen at Dragonstone. The Velaryons, with their powerful naval fleet, controlled the middle of the Narrow Sea, allowing them to secure dominance over key maritime trade routes before the conquest of Westeros. Queen Alyssa Velaryon famously took refuge on Driftmark with her children after the death of her husband, King Aenys I Targaryen. It was during this time that she proclaimed her son, Prince Aegon Targaryen, the true king, while King Maegor I Targaryen was incapacitated following a trial of 7. The rise of High Tide and the Velaryon influence. Lord Corlys Velaryon, also known as the Sea Snake, played a significant role in Driftmark's prosperity. His wealth and influence led him to construct a new castle on the opposite side of the island from the ancestral Driftmark castle. This new stronghold, High Tide, was built on a tidal island and became the center of Velaryon power. As High Tide flourished, the towns of Hull and Spicetown grew on Driftmark's coasts, further establishing the island's importance. At its peak, Driftmark was a hub of maritime trade, with merchants preferring to do business there rather than in the heavily taxed King's Landing. The Dance of the Dragons, and later conflict during the Civil War known as the Dance of the Dragons, Driftmark played a critical role in the conflict. Lord Corlys, with his powerful fleet, took part in strategic naval battles, including the battle in the Gullet. The island's towns were attacked, with Spicetown being burned down. After the war, Driftmark became a contentious place for the Velaryons, especially as political tensions rose between Queen Rhaenyra Targaryen and House Velaryon. Corlys and his kin were forced to navigate these shifting allegiances, including reconciling with Queen Alicent Hightower, mother of King Aegon II Targaryen. Legacy and modern relevance. Driftmark's legacy continued even after the death of Lord Corlys in 132 AC. His body was taken to Driftmark, where it was ceremonially buried at sea. Despite the challenges faced by the Velaryons, Driftmark remained an important location in Westeros, symbolizing both the Velaryon family's strength and the complexities of the Targaryen-Velaryon alliance. In 138 AC, Driftmark also became a point of historical significance with the burial of Addam Velaryon, a fighter for the Blacks during the Second Tumbleton conflict. His bones were returned to Driftmark for a final resting place, marking another chapter in the island's rich and storied history.